Racer. Today, I'm gonna perform you the final output for our course Assessment in Learning 1. So for the task 1, I arrange the grades of the grade 5 students from highest to lowest to determine its rank. So, for the 7-point grading scale, I have here the description. A for excellent with a range of 1.00 to 4.50. B plus for very good with a range of 4.51 to 11.25. B for above our average with a range of 11.26 to 18.00. For B minus, which is average, which have a range of 18.01 to 27.00. For C is the pass, which have a range of 27.01 to 33.75. For the marginal pass, with a range of 33.76 to 40.50. And for the failure, with a range of 40.51 to 45.00. Among the students, 4 get an excellent grade, 6 for very good, 7 for above average, 9 for average, 6 for pass, 9 for marginal pass, and 4 got a failing grade. For the 8 points grading scale, here are the description. Excellent with a range of 1.00 to 2.25. Very good with a range of 2.26 to 6.75. For good with a range of 6.76 to 13.50. For the above average with a range of 13.51 to 22.50. For the average with a range of 22.51 to 31.50. For the pass with a range of 31.51 to 38.25. For the marginal pass with a range of 38.26 to 42.75. And for the failure with a range of 42.76 to 45.00. So among the students, 1 got an excellent grade, 8 for very good, 6 for good, 5 for above average, 12 for average, 7 for pass, 2 for marginal pass, and 4 for failure. In this grading system, 4 students get a failing grade. But if we use the accreditation-based system with a passing grade of 75%, no one student would fail. In this grading system, 4 students get failing marks, the same as the previous grading system. But the probability of passing is increased up to 95% instead of the previous, which is 90%. In the task 1B, all we need to do is to compute the grades of the students in English and mathematics. So for the information of everyone, 30% of the grade is from written work, 50% from performance task, and 20% for quarterly tasks, a total of 100%. For the English subject, let's compute their grade. So for the written work, the student got 85 out of 100. So 85 divided by 100 times 100% is 85%. So the weighted score is 85% times 0.30, which is the percentage of written work equals 25.5. So the grade of the student in her written work is 25.5. So For the performance task, the student get 65 out of 50, 100 I mean. So 65 over 100 times 100% is 65%. So the weighted score equals 65 times 0.50 equals 32.5. So the student got a 32.5 for her performance task. So for the quarterly test, the student get 55 out of 100. So 55 divided by 100 times 100% equals 55%. So the weighted score equals 55% times 0.20 equals 11%. So overall, the student get 25.5 for written work, 32.5 for the performance task, and 11% for the quarterly task, a total of 69.0. The transmuted grade of 69% is 80%. So the student get 80% for her English subject. So for her mathematics, for the written work, the student get 30 out of 50. So 30 divided by 50 times 100% is 60%. So the weighted score equals 60% times 0.3 or 30 equals 18%. So the student get 18% in her written work. For the performance task, the student get 42 out of 60. So 42 divided by 60 times 100% equals 70%. So the weighted score equals 70% times 0.50 equals 35%. So for the quarterly task, the student get 28 out of 40. So 28 divided by 40 times 100% is 70%. So the weighted score equals 70% times 0.2 equals 14%. So in overall, 18% from written work, 35% for performance task, and 14% for the quarterly task. Add it all equals 67%. So the transmuted grade of 67% is 79%. So the student gets 79% in her mathematics subject. For the task 2, we're going to calculate the percentage score of Ellen Ramsey in her Araling Panlipunan for the first grading period. So first, we need to calculate the written work of Ellen. So there are 7 written work, and the highest possible score is 170, and the score of Ellen is 116. So 116 divided by 170 times 100% is 68.2. So 68.2 times 0.3 is 20.46. So in written work, Ellen got 20.46%. So for the performance task, the highest possible score is 110, and Ellen's score is 92. Then 92 divided by 110 times 100 is 83.6. So 83.6 times 50 is 41.8. So the grade of Ellen in her performance task is 41.8%. Next is the quarterly assessment. So Ellen, the highest possible score for quarterly assessment is 50. So Ellen's score is 30. So 30 divided by 50 is times 100% is 60. So 60 times 0.2 is 12. So Ellen got 12% for her quarterly assessment. So in total, for the written work, 20.46%, performance task 41.8%, and the quarterly assessment is 12%, a total of 74.26. So the transmuted grade of 74.26 is 84. So the grades of Ellen's first grading for Araling Panglipunan is 84%. So, this is the grade of Ellen in her Araling Panlipunan for the whole year. So, first quarter, 84%, second quarter, 88%, third quarter, 90%, and in fourth quarter is 92%. A total of 88.5. So, 88.5 can be rounded into nearest unit, which is 89%. So, the grade of Ellen for the whole year is 89%. Ellen's grade in final rating is 89%, and its descriptive rating is very satisfactory or passed. For the task 2B, here is the Ellen's final numerical and descriptive rating. So these are the grade of Ellen. So in her Araling Panlipunan, 89, which is passed. So all we need to do is to add all the 8 subject and divide it by 8. So 88 for English, Filipino, 88 for English, 84 for mathematics, 89 for science, 89 for Araling Panlipunan, 90 for MAPE, 90 for ESP, and 73 for APP. So in total is 691. So divided by 8 is 86%. So the general average of Ellen is 86%, which is passed. To calculate Alden's percentage score in his first quarter. So, for the written work, here are his score. So, all we need to do is to multiply the written score to 0.3 to get the weighted score. So, here are the weighted score of Alden in her written work. So for the performance task, here are the score. It is multiplied by 0.5, and here is the weighted score of Alden in his performance task. So for the quarterly assessment, here are the score and multiplied by 2. So here are the weighted score of Alden in his quarterly assessment. So, for the initial grade, all we need to do is to add these 3 weighted score and for the initial grade. So, the initial grade will be transmuted. So, the initial score or grade will be transmuted. So here are the quarterly grade of Alden. So 87 for Filipino, 86 for English, 79 for mathematics, 84 for science, 88 for Araling Panlipunan, 89 for ESP, 88 for EPP, and 87 for MAPE. The composite grade of Alden in MAPE is 87%. The first thing I do is I add the score of Alden in his work, written work, performance task, and quarterly assessment, a total of 79.2. So, the transmuted grade of 79.2 is 87%. Alden best performance during the first quarter is the Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao or ESP with a grade of 89%. The learning area where Alden need improvement is the subject mathematics with a grade of 79%. Alden's level of proficiency in Araling Panlipunan is very satisfactory, which means his grade is high and passed. The overall performance of Alden in his first quarter is very good. So, I am going to tell you to the students and to the parents that his child performed well for this school year. There's nothing to worry about, and his performance and character really doing well. As a teacher, we should be responsible, careful, and honest in computing and recording the grades of the students. Grades should be meaningful, consistent, and accurate. Meaningful. Grading practices should be clear, that students should be able to tell teachers and parents what grades they have received. Consistent. The same student's work completed in two different classrooms should receive the same grades. Accurate. Grades are based on students' achievements, such as attitude and compliance. As a teacher, we should not practice favoritism. It is one of the seen as fundamental unfair and contributes inequities that affects students' success and failure. No to favoritism, yes to fair treatment of the students.